What if I told you that the fastest way to figure out your life is to stop asking what you want, but to instead make an inventory of all the things that you don't want and start moving away from that one by one? Whenever we find ourselves stuck, like in a job we don't like, a relationship, or some situation that's wearing us out, we default to the question, what do I actually want to, or what am I doing with my life? And yeah, the truth is, the answer to that question doesn't come easily or quickly. So we often tend to continue where we are. And this is not because we want to stay the same, but because we lack the clarity to move. Things started changing for me when I flipped the question of what do I want to what I don't want. And I'll tell you more about it in just a bit, because in this video, I'm about to show you a different way of looking at this clarity problem, which makes the answer to what do I actually want to do with my life reveal itself faster. It helped me stop overthinking and start moving differently, which ultimately helped me move forward and grow past many challenging situations in my life. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kriti. I'm a data scientist by profession, and on this channel, we decode psychological frameworks for lasting change and also talk about practical strategies for ambitious 9-to-5 professionals who want to gain control over their direction, time, and health without quitting. Okay, so let's get into it. Here's why directly thinking about what you want doesn't work. So for a long time, I sat with questions like, what am I passionate about? What do I want to do in life? And the problem is, our brains are not very good at coming up with answers to these questions out of thin air. Because stating desire without having a contrast is vague. It's like trying to describe a color you've never seen before. You don't have anything to compare it to, so your mind just circles around possibilities without committing to anything real. Now here's the inversion principle. There's a mental model often used in decision making called inversion. Instead of asking, how do I succeed? You ask, what would make me fail? Instead of what do I want? You ask, what would I regret? It's much easier to recognize what feels wrong than to define what feels right. Like, you might not know your ideal career, but you know how it feels to sit in meetings that drain you. You might not know what your 5-year or long-term vision is, but you know what it feels like to end a day feeling like none of it mattered. Inversion works because it grounds you in reality. It takes you out of abstract thinking and puts you in direct observation of your current experience. And from there, clarity starts to form, because clarity doesn't always come from guessing forward. It comes from seeing clearly what you want to move away from and being honest with yourself about that. If you're interested, I've linked a free inverted thinking worksheet in the description that you can go through after this video. It has the same kind of questions that help me build the habit of thinking long-term, staying grounded in clarity, and consistently moving towards growth. So here's something that really helped me. Instead of trying to imagine my ideal life, I started doing the opposite. I took my current situation, my job, my habits, my lifestyle, my environment, and projected it forward 10, 15 years, just honestly. And in doing that, I had to face the question that if I don't change anything and if I continued exactly as I am, what would my life look like? What kind of person would I have become? And more importantly, what does it feel like to sit with that version of yourself? So this isn't about creating fear. It's about removing ambiguity and replacing it with clarity. And clarity often requires you to face some harsh, grounded truths. It's like adding constraints to a very complex and abstract problem. And constraints aren't always fun. But here's the positive side. The discomfort now becomes very specific. It's no longer a vague sense of, I don't know what I want. It becomes, I know what I don't want, and I need to do something differently to change that. And in thinking like this, what you want starts to become more clear. Like, if I don't want to sit in meetings all day, then what should I be doing? I either find a job that's not meeting heavy, or I tell my manager it's not productive, or something like that. If I don't like my 9-to-5 itself, what would I rather be doing? Now, what can I do to move towards that future? So you see how your perspective shifts? Instead of now waiting for certainty, you're acting on clarity that already exists by just facing some hard truths. And I want to be really clear. This is not about hating your current life. It should not be about turning your current life into something that you resent, or waking up every day and convincing yourself that everything around you is wrong or unbearable, because that kind of thinking only creates more frustration, not clarity. And over time, it drains your energy. The point is not to hate where you are. It's to recognize that this phase of your life might just be functional. Like, it might be necessary and even useful, but it's not where you want to stay long term. And I've seen that this awareness allows me to say, this is good for now, but I know it's not going to be forever. Because when you operate from that level of awareness, you don't lose stability. Like, you don't burn everything down impulsively. You keep showing up to your current responsibilities, but you're no longer worried about this being your final destination. You just treat it as a temporary structure or something that supports you while you build the next version of your life. Of course, this doesn't apply if you're really going through something urgent or, something that needs you to exit immediately. This is more about how you can build a sustainable routine for yourself. And so I think this is what makes the inversion approach sustainable. You're not running away from your current life. You're simply no longer confusing it for your future. There's one more piece to this that makes it actually work over time. Choosing daily actions with this future version of you in mind is hard because it's still not certain and it's not real in the present. But you need to believe that it will be if you continue. Because it's really easy to get discouraged. Like, you might want to normalize your current situation again. Tell yourself that this is not so bad, or once again start tolerating things that you once questioned. That's just how the mind works. You're going to slip sometimes, a couple of bad days, a week where you fall back into old habits, and that's normal. The important part here is consistency. You might feel clear and motivated one day and then completely disconnected the next. But you still get back up and do the thing that you said you would do because it moves you closer to the future version of yourself. And sometimes you have to remind yourself clearly and honestly what happens if nothing changes. Not to scare yourself, but to stay grounded in the reality that you're trying to build. And if you keep thinking this way over time, you begin to develop vision. You stop living day to day based on only emotion and you start thinking long term. And that long term perspective keeps you moving even when motivation disappears. And the best part is the need for instant gratification also starts to lose its grip on you. Like, most of us tend to act based on how we feel in the moment. But growth happens when you start acting based on a future you can see clearly, even before you fully become it. So, at the end of the day, you don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need a perfect plan. Most of the time, the clarity is already there within you. So instead of asking yourself what you want, try asking what you're no longer willing to tolerate. And use that as a starting point. Because moving away from the life that's wrong for you without hating it is often the fastest way to find the right one. If you enjoyed this video, do check out the other playlists on my channel. Hit like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.